Thank you all for coming to the physics session. As you heard this morning in the two excellent talks from Rush and from Flavia, the focus of this meeting is on science drivers for diplomacy. My only regret is we can't attend all the sessions because they all look fascinating. I think, as most of you know, physics in the U.S. has been international for a very long time. I think, though, now that the world has become so globalized, including in physics, the American physics community has recognized that in order to stay at the forefront of science and physics, it's going to require even more international collaboration, which presents certain challenges, at least in our country, in part convincing our funders of science that it's absolutely essential for them to provide funds for American scientists to work at facilities in other countries. I spent 3 years as a science technology advisor at for the Secretary of State, and there I was focused very much on the role of science aiding diplomacy. Sort of after 3 years, I came away with the conviction that diplomacy can do a whole lot more for actually aiding the scientific enterprise, trying to remove some of the obstacles and problems that inhibit science collaboration. And now, with every field of science very much focused on strategy and coordination for more international scientific engagement, I think it's important for governments to think about how they can actually aid the science enterprise in their countries in terms of international strategies. So in this session we have today, looking at the physics world, including subfields of physics, we have, I think, 4 great speakers. The first is going to be Amy Flaten. She's essentially in charge of international activities at the American Physical Society. The APS, most recent meeting in Baltimore, had several sessions that were focused on international scientific engagement, certainly trying to learn lessons from the past. They also have a working group that's looking at many of these issues. After Amy finishes, we will have leaders in 3 different subfields of physics, in advanced light sources, in astronomy and astrophysics, and in high-energy physics. They're all leaders in their fields. Their bios are all in the little program right here, so I won't spend much time on going through their bios, so we save time for them to make their presentations and perhaps at least half the time of our session to actually have a dialogue with all of you. So I think it'll be a very interesting session, listening at least how this one area of science is approaching in the United States international scientific engagement, both on the reasons for this, why it's absolutely important if the U.S. is going to stay as one of the leaders of world science in physics, but also what are both the opportunities and the challenges and the issues and the obstacles. And I'm especially interested to hear about what governments in particular can do to actually facilitate, rather than in some cases make it more difficult for international scientific collaboration.